with the law. Hey, that's G shit. You stack it up for your ball. That's G shit. Money over bitches.
Young Deez. Alright, so you got a new project out, A Gutta Mind State. You say, well, first, like, how you feeling today? You feeling alright today? Good.
I feel awesome, man. God is great. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you dropping a new mixtape. Okay, it's about your 5th or 6th mixtape. Well, first, like, what's the name of all your mixtapes? You know, you've been grinding for a while now. So what's your mixtapes?
Yeah, I drop Streets. I drop fucking The Answer, The Watch, All or Nothing, Family Tabs with my partner Buddy.
Buddy Cuz, that's my guy.
Yeah, Buddy. And we did Family Tabs too, and I dropped Political.
Why did you name it Gutta Mind State?
So it was really just on some shit like even coming from where I come from, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my mama, she put me in the church. Like, I grew up in the church, you know, so, but I started indulging, I started fucking with the streets, you know what I mean? I did what, you know, any typical guy, you know what I mean, do. I started fucking with the streets, and like I went through a lot of pain through the streets, you know what I mean, and then doing everything where I come from, you know, like I left the streets alone. Like once I made it back from every situation I faced, you know what I mean, I was like, shh. My mind was Gutta. Like the person that know me in Charlotte, you know what I mean, like they know. So, you know, and I went legit. Like I had got legit. And it was just like, shit, I'm still going through more pain now, but I can't go back to the streets to say I'm gonna do it. So, you know, just like.
Would you consider like that to be like a mind state? Like you can have like a gutter mind state? You know what I'm saying? Like for certain people, like would you say that's what it is?
Yeah, I mean it's a gutter mind state. Like people, like everywhere that you go to, like people think. Like people minds fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like people brain come from, you know what I mean? Just, you know, the way my brain think, it always let me go back to, you know what I mean? Like the way I live, even though cause I got legit, like I went legit, you know, I left the streets, you know what I mean? But what I went through in the streets, you know what I mean? When I was thugging in the streets, so it would just let a nigga know, like, people from my hood, like, a person that knew me in Charlotte, you know what I mean? They knew, you know, he was a wild-ass guy, just retarded, you know what I mean, moving. So I just say, you know what I mean? And I was still going through pain, like, I was still going through pressure, even though I went legit. And I was just like, I think these thoughts, so I go to mind state.
I put it out. I feel you on that. All right, so, let me see. So, I listened to it. It's a dope project, you know, of course. So, what I'm going to do is, if you don't mind, can we play a little bit of it? We're going to play the intro,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And we get a little snippet up right quick.
They got to get a piece of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was telling my mom, I'm like, mama, you know, the greatest gift to earth from God, like, you special. And my mama, she replied back, she like, no, Tay baby, you're God's gift to earth. I'm like, mama, you know how I've been through so much. And I don't believe this, you know what I'm saying? Walking through this world paranoid, trying to fill a void. I'm a man of my own now. Yeah. Made so many mistakes I couldn't escape. I face my fate. I'm a man of my own now. Yeah. All the lessons that I learned, I gotta return it, really earned it. I'm a man of my own now. Yeah. Walking through this world paranoid, trying to fill a void. I'm a man of my own now.
You know, from that, it sounds like you put a lot of conviction in your song. So, you know what I'm saying, what would you tell your younger self? Like, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self? It can be music or it can be just life in general. What would you tell your younger self?
I tell my younger self, you stupid as hell. Sit your dumb ass down. You know what I'm saying? But on some real shit, because I mean, when you're a child, when you're a young nigga, when you growing up, you know, young child, I don't care who you is, you know what I mean? It's just like you're gonna do shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna fuck up, you gonna mess up, you're gonna make mistakes, like you gonna struggle, you gonna fight. But it's just like I would tell myself, like, be careful, like who you trusting in. You know, even if I'm gonna do a crime, like shit, do that shit by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like don't don't fuck with too many niggas. And then by myself, if I get fucked up, then it's on me, you know. But
okay, so when it come to music, or not even really music, so again, just life in general, or however you wanna, you know, just take the question. What's the best advice that stuck with you, you know, like thus far? Like somebody like you just see in the back of your head and you remember what they said. Like who was, or somebody, or what they said to make, you know what I'm saying, to make you do what you do.
It was Mr. Mofo. Like he told me some shit. Like he was just like, you know, Deez, I had a lot of money, but he was just like, I ain't put my all into it. So he just really taught me like what you put into this shit, that's what you get out. Like part time, like that's what you get out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so currently, you know, when it comes to social media, you know, it's very easy to put out music. You know, it's easy for consumers to be able to just come across music. So what sets you apart from, you know, like other artists? Like what will make people like gravitate to Young Deez?
Shit, my heart should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my features, you know, it might not catch a person and be like, oh, I want to fuck with him, but you know, once you talk to me, my heart, like what I stand on, the principles of it, it's just like, I ain't telling you, I ain't shooting at the ops. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, which I did, you know, we've been there in places where we shot out with hoods, but I'm just gonna tell you, like, nigga, like, watch who you beside, you know what I'm saying? Like, the penitentiary gonna house you, or you going to the dirt. Like, your mom and them, they gonna have to struggle about this shit. Like, they gonna cry about this shit. Like, you gonna be fucked up. You know, like, even right now while we doing this interview, this niggas in a penitentiary cell, like, boy, I had this when I was home. Like, they talking through vents right now. Like, boy, when I was home, boy, I was that nigga. I was doing whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, so I think it's best sometimes to stay free. But it's just basically like, you know, to watch everything you do.
Most definitely. All right, so, you know, it's a lot of money in this music game. So one question I always want to ask is, would you stay as independent as you can, or was you like signed to a major artist? If it got to that point, you know, just throwing it out there, what would you do? Would you stay OTE to the death, or if that bag come around, we gon', you know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be OT to the death, cause we created. It was something that we created, like Big C. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a creation from, like we was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like broke as fuck. Like we created this motherfucker. You know, in the Jeep, it was. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. After all the money left, you know what I mean? We sat in the Jeep, like and fucking created it. But if a deal come and say, oh, it's gonna make sense for me, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna sign my life. I ain't gonna sell my soul for no money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do no shit like that. But you know, if it makes sense, then shit, hell yeah, we gonna do it. But I want to stay independent because I like to create it, to get it out the mud, the dirt. You know, every place I'm at today in my life, like shit, that shit come from the dirt. I'm the author.
All right, so mentally, you know, you coming up with a gutter mind state. Like, what was you in your mind? Like, what was you coming up with this awesome music? What was you mentally, you know, coming up with a gutter mind state?
I was in a fucked up, like I was in a fucked up. I was in a good place, but I was in a fucked up place because I was in a relationship for like 8 years, and like it wasn't really so much she was doing wrong. It was like shit I was dealing with too, like overthinking things. I was overthinking shit. Like I was, you know, I wasn't in the streets, but I was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, drinking, turning up, gambling, you know, playing poker, standing out with my niggas, like, cause you love your niggas, you know, you love your partners, you know, sometimes, but, and I was in a bad place, and I was still fighting shit out on the job, like I had when I got a job, so I was still fighting that shit with the job, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, like one day I just want to say, man, fuck that, I'm gonna go get me I'm gonna go back, just hustle, I'm gonna go back and get me some dope. But I still had to remember the sentence where I come from. You know, the sentence them people want to give me. So I was like, I just want to stay focused. But I was still thinking like that in a gutter mindset. You know, but I was like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't go back to that place. You know what I'm saying? I know where I come from.
Yeah.
I remember.
You definitely learn. You gotta learn from your mistakes, man. So as far as like just say the Charlotte rap scene now. Like, what's your thoughts on the rap scene in general, and then like just to put a micro on it, like the Charlotte rap scene. How you feel about music?
I like it. I mean, I like it. Like shit, that shit been popping. You know what I'm saying? Like before, like the Baby Blue, which I salute that nigga. You know what I mean? But shit, I like it. Like niggas grinding more. I think it's easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I love it. I like the scene. I like the scene of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much like in Charlotte, you gotta be on popping Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't just blow in Charlotte. You gotta be on. But what Charlotte doing, what niggas doing, I think is dope. I love it.
That's what's up. Okay, so this is just change gears a little bit. I probably should have asked you this earlier, but who influenced you to start rapping? Like, who was some of your favorite rappers? Like, who got you into, I would have rap?
I remember my pops. He had my step pop. Which he my pop. You know what I mean? But he gave me. I was listening to like Doug and Fresh, and I remember just listening to the tape because I always played drums. You know what I'm saying? Like in the church and shit. You know what I mean? Like I played drums. I always just liked the music coming up, but just Doug and Fresh. Then I, like Tupac. Biggie. You know what I mean? Like I would listen to, you know what I mean, people like them. But then I was just like, shit. One day I was like, I can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I can, I can create this shit. Yeah. So
let's just get away from rapping for a little bit. Just just something else. What's your favorite shoe? Like what's your favorite shoe? If you had to go to the store and go pick out a shoe, what would be your favorite shoe? Your favorite sneaker?
I'm gonna go get some white Air Force Ones. You know what I mean? I like white Force.
Yeah, get the ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just to sum everything up, a Gutta mind state. What keeps you going? You know what I'm saying? What keep you rapping? What keep you like grounded? What keeps you just doing what you think is right?
Well, just coming from where I come from. You know what I mean? Like coming from every place I come from. My family. And then I got partners, that's still like fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they still in the streets, doing their thing. And they get some money, but it just every lesson that I learned from back, what I went through, all the pain, like that shit keep me going. Like what they said I couldn't be, like when they told me I was dead at 18, they killed me at 18. You're gonna be in prison forever. You're gonna be, dead. So it always keep me going, like. To conquer every challenge that they say I couldn't conquer, and my family, like my mom, my partners, my brothers, sisters, that shit keep me going. It make me, go get it, go do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter where you come from, you can win.
Do it. What a good mind state too. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so it's been real. We're gonna goddamn chop it up again, most definitely. I appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, 100.
100. And it's all love, man. Gutta mind state, OTE, man.
Hey, I ain't taking no change, bro. Hey, man, bring all the change, man. I don't want no shorts today. Man, I only got 5 more dance left, nigga. Come on, for real, bro. Ain't no change, man. Go ahead on, man. I was in the trenches with the junkies. They was trying to shake off the monkey. Shit, I was trying to shake off the monkey. I just want the money so you know a nigga on it. I was in the trenches with the junkies. They was trying to shake off the monkey. Shit, I was trying to shake off the monkey. I just want the money so you know a nigga on it. I was in the trenches with the junkies. They was trying to shake off the monkey. Shit, I was trying to shake off the monkey. I just want the money so you know a nigga on it. I was in the trenches with the junkies. They were trying to shake off the monkey. Shit, I was trying to shake off the monkey. I just want the money so you know a nigga.
2020 had to shake off the monkey. 2021, now my diamonds are chunky. I remember in the hood begging crazy for credit. Keep it in front of my mind so I never forget it. Now I'm at the ladder at the top where I'm headed. Could've been there, but a nigga wasn't ready. Now a nigga ready. Coming down in the 2-seater, me and